last couple of days since this acolyte bullshit came out, I've been fighting with these Raylos and these stupid fucks on here. Um, this guy is probably the biggest Star Wars channel and Echo Base Network. Echo Base Network, I'd say, is probably the one that's caught on more than this guy yet. That you have to fight these people head on, man. You can't pussyfoot around and joke with them or even reason with them. They're stupid fucking idiots. They're just absolute. Everything with them is about their fifis. Can't have a rational argument or anything with these people. And I just pin them to the fucking ground, and they either end up blocking me, or I get them to the point, and I predict it on there every time. I say, okay, let me guess, you're gonna call me a racist and a bigot, and I hate minorities and all of this, and that's what they're gonna do, and then they can't do it then. So they end up blocking me or leaving because this is the only argument they have is you hate minorities and you're a bigot and all of this. Well, I just say to them, how come Lucas doesn't hire Halle Berry? What does Disney have against Halle Berry? They hire all these shit black people. And this gal that they hired for the Acolyte is probably the worst one yet. She was in that movie. I think it's called They Hate Us or They Give Us Hate or something. And it's just nothing but BLM propaganda. And the whole movie is about she's in this car with her boyfriend and the guy's black and this cop pulls them over, and when he's approaching the car, the guy freaks out and he tries to, it looks like he's going to grab a gun or something, and then the cop just shoots the car up, and it turns out he was reaching for a hairbrush or something. But why he did it that way or whatever, this is what I mean. They try to incite it or make it look, like, oh, look at this. They're just killing they're just killing black people all over the place and doing this. And it's just, well, anyways, after that, they go to court and everything. And then the cop gets off because the body cam footage shows that it looks like the guy's reaching for a gun and everything. So she starts protesting with the school and doing all this bullshit that goes nowhere. And then at the end, she's standing on top of some cop car and she's telling them with a bullhorn, oh, they won't listen to us and they're killing us. It's just propaganda. That whole movie was just nothing but just bullshit propaganda. And the dad on there is like the worst because he's just taking the daughters and mind fucking them. And he sits them down at this table and I can't remember the thing he makes them say. He makes them recite some stupid mantra thing or something. And it's basically like we're better than them and they're stupid and all. It's just some racist, it's reverse racism basically. And he just mind fucks his own kids basically. So the daughters got the rest of her life she'll believe this mantra and this thing they were doing about white people are bad and all of this. It's just, this is why Disney hired her. Because they saw that movie and they're like, oh, look at this. We got a BLM propagandist here. We can use this for our bullshit. And then here we are now with Acolyte, which, oh, let me tell you, man, I done a review on that garbage. Next week, they're going to destroy the Force and they're going to have lesbians giving birth or something. And I really hope it's the end of this bullshit. So we got 2 videos and let's watch this. Now, this guy in the middle is very reasonable. And I like to see these Raylo fucks have an argument with this guy because this guy really lays it out. So here we go.
Diversity is great. We love diversity that's proportional and isn't like the thrust or the main point of things. But they said in the New York Times interview that They want to showcase diversity, which means they want to go above and beyond what is conventional with diversity, which means at that point, they've made an aesthetic choice, a stylistic choice, a political choice, which then becomes subjective. And it's entirely okay for reasonable people everywhere to say, I'm just not particularly into that. I don't like it. It seems very messagey and preachy for me. It takes me out of the experience of watching the show. And I just don't like the approach you've got with it. And that's entirely reasonable. But they want to think of it in grander, grandiose terms. It must therefore mean that you're bigoted or that you're morbid or you're reactionary in some way. It's just not that at all.
It's such an interesting choice of words as well. Showcase diversity. Like literally say, like, you know, showing people a concept car or something and saying, like, hey, you got diversity.
Here's the thing that Disney and these people in Hollywood haven't caught on to yet. The audience don't give a fuck about diversity. They don't care about that bullshit. They're not racist like Hollywood, where they're looking at skin colors and all this horseshit like they do. And now they're hiring on skin colors, not merit, with their DEI hires and all this.
Here, aren't you impressed? Look at it. Look at the diversity that we made. Aren't we amazing? It's like, no, if you were smart, it would just be a natural part of what you've created. It's a natural part of the story, and no one would need to make a big deal out of it. No one would even notice it. It's just there. That's how you actually like influence people. But when you make it into this thing, this battleground that you have to fight over, that's when you turn people against the very cause that you claim to uphold.
Some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true, but
Yeah.
This is the idiot here, the propagandist.
in my world, nerds are gay.
Those are homophobes.
Those gays are going to come in the window and get me.
They're like jump scares.
What's it?
Here's the thing.
All right, let's watch this one.
I don't know how much abuse Star Wars fans get. Like, we just want good stories, man. You got Kathleen Kennedy saying that we hate women. You got Leslie Headland or whatever that interviewer saying nerds hate gay people, threatened by them. And then now the show is meant to shit on white people. I mean, I don't. What the fuck else do you want?
Well,
Like, we just want good stories, man. Like, leave us alone. Nerds were literally the outcasts.
Yeah.
We accepted everybody. We don't care if you're gay, straight. We don't care if you're a man or woman. A girl who's a nerd, a girl who's into Star Wars. Are you kidding me? Please, that was the kind of our way of thinking, is that we would accept everybody because we were outcasts. No one liked nerds back in the day. Now it's like completely shifted, where being a nerd is cool and trendy and you can make money from it and you can join the clique. It's bullshit, and it's become this like weird.
He should have just said it's becoming corporate. That's what he's trying to say. It's like Disney Star Wars. It's just a shell of what it was. It's just a cash grab now.
Political version of what it once was.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, well, the best way I could liken this is like, say you just got a group of friends who gather together to play Dungeons and Dragons, a shared hobby you all like, Das Kapital. And I want you guys to all talk about why communism is the way forward for all of us. And then the rest of them are like, I'm not really sure about that. I just want to play Dungeons and Dragons and just have an adventure. Why are you such a bigot? Why do you hate change? Why can't you accept people for who they are? That's the same analogy that we've got here. You're trying to bring all of your political baggage into just a nerddom. That's all they cared about. And when people pushed back against you, you've just hit them with every slur under the book. That's
like
what
when
every fan base has become now.
Pretty much. But see, the difference is you have to fight these people and pin them down, man. Like, for instance, I had this one guy that was, he kept going on about sexualities and diversity and all, and I'm just like, why are you so concerned about people's sex and all this? I don't care about that. I just want to, what are you, a pervert? And I just kept hammering that to him. And he ended up blocking me because before he could do it, I said, okay, I'm ready for it. Go ahead, call me the bigot and all of that. And he couldn't do it because I put it out there already. So he couldn't call me that because I told him I knew he was going to do that. So he couldn't do that. So he had to block me. That's how you deal with these losers. You have to make them block you because they're just total bitch asses and snowflakes that can't handle anything. Okay, this is... Hey, remember when Star Wars established this is all you need to survive on the surface of an open-air asteroid in the vacuum of space. Well, you'd be accurate if they were actually on the asteroid surface. They are not. They are inside the Exogorth. They were inside of this thing and it had oxygen. This is how stupid these idiots are. Now look at this guy. He's trying to make the argument. He's trying to make this argument to me about a fire in space. I should use this for every response. That's basically me reading this shit. Like, but I really wish these big Star Wars channels would push back on these people, man. Because I just don't give a fuck. I've got nothing to lose. I got something better coming anyways, I think. Because this is just a shell of what it used to be. That's all we have now. We just have the shell of Star Wars filled with propagandists and diversity and all this crap that nobody cares about. Nobody gives a fuck. The audience don't give a fuck about diversity. They don't catch on to that. The audience cares about a good movie. Anyways, I guess that's it. I got nothing else to say here, but I just wish these guys, I don't know if they're scared of clout or what. I don't know what it is, but if my whole channel was a Star Wars channel, I would really be going after them. I would just, man, look, I'd have Kathleen Kennedy making public announcements against my channel and stuff. That's how hard I'd be going at her. All right, thanks for watching.